Welcome to Soccer Gaming, where we give you information that will help you grow and learn as a player in MLB The Show 22. In this episode, we are going to go over the basics of pitching and learning how to be better at pitching. We're going to kind of just talk about the basics and everything. I'm not going to go super in depth on like what to throw and stuff like that, but I wanted to give you guys my tips and tricks that I've learned from playing this game over the past 3 to 4 years and kind of show you guys how you can get better at pitching in MLB The Show 22. So if you'd like to watch that, stick around. Whether or not you're playing online or offline, there are different things you could do to learn to get better. And so I want to kind of go over that in this episode. I want to show you kind of what to use and what to do to try to get better at pitching. I've already released a batting video, so if you're kind of wondering, well, how to get better at hitting, there's a video on my channel already. Go check that out. But this one is about pitching, and we're going to do the same thing again with custom practice. Starting out, if you're playing offline mode, you want to make sure that your difficulty is set to dynamic, which means as you play, as you get better, your difficulty will automatically kind of increase for you and get you to a place where you should be as far as hitting and pitching goes. And since we're going to go over pitching, I want to go over kind of some tips and tricks about pitching, how to do it, how to set things up, what you should be looking for to try to get better at pitching, whether it be offline or online. So let's jump into custom practice, because that's where you're going to learn to get better if you are struggling with something. If you're struggling with pinpoint pitching, don't just jump into a game and try to pinpoint pitch. Practice makes perfect, and that's what we're going to do in this. We're going to jump into practice. We're going to do some pitching. I'm going to teach you some tips and tricks on how to get better, but ultimately the one thing you could do to get better is use this practice simulator to get better. So now that we're in here, we're going to be the pitcher. It looks like we're going to be Ohtani. You're going to want to look at your options in your game controls and figure out what's the best pitching for you. If you're brand new to this, my suggestion is learn pinpoint pitching. I know it's going to take you a while to learn, but it is the best way of pitching right now, currently out. And so if you're brand new, you might as well just learn it from scratch and not learn about the other things that are out. And this will really, really help you get better at the game, because you're going to have better results from a hitter hitting if you're using pinpoint. But let's jump into the options and take a look at what we're doing here with pitching. Again, set it to dynamic. That's offline stuff. So if you're pitching offline, it will get better the better you get. If you start struggling at a certain level, like say you're at All-Star or whatever, say you're all the way up here at All-Star, you go to Hall of Fame, and then all of a sudden you're just getting blitzed, it will drop you back down to All-Star. But so make sure that is at the dynamic difficulty so that it can go up and down as you're playing. If you're playing online, you will select your difficulty, or if you're playing ranked, depending on your rating, we'll select your difficulty that way. But my suggestion is pinpoint. Learn it. If you haven't learned it, learn it. It is the best way by far, because I've noticed I went back to kind of the old pitching style that I used to start MLB 21. You get blitzed quick. It's just like the ball's fatter. It's easier to hit for the other people, but pinpoint, it really allows you to get what you want out of pitching. So if you want to pitch a certain place, it really pinpoints it, which is why they call it pinpoint. So my suggestion is learning pinpoint is the best interface. If you're struggling with it, this is why you would do in practice. Set here for like an hour and work on it. At the end of the hour, you're going to be a lot better at pinpoint. Just know that there are different settings for pinpoint as far as pitching for the stretch, pitching, different players, lefties, righties, the different pitches are all different. So you're going to want to kind of pick, if you're in practice, you're going to kind of want to pick a bigger group of people, and then just go through here and select your pitching view that you want. A lot of people do batter's eye, I think. I do the pitcher just because I feel like I need to see more, but definitely use whatever pitching view you enjoy. All of this stuff is from whatever you like to look at. My suggestion is play around with it for about 20 minutes. figure out what you actually like, what you pitch better with, and then just stick with that and just basically drill down on that and use that from now on, because that will be the best way for you to learn, is just to stick with one thing and get really, really, really good at it. So now how to get better at pitching, we're going to go to practice type. We're going to go to pitching, where you're going to pick a pitcher. Let's pick Ohtani. We're going to enable a batter so that you kind of know where to throw and all that good stuff. And then let's just pick a righty-lefty matchup here to kind of help determine whether or not what you're pitching is actually good. So while you're in here, this is where you're going to select your pitch type on Pinpoint. So once you select it, it's going to give you that thing up above. It's going to show you what you need to do to try to get a perfect pitch. And this is what I'm saying. You're going to have to struggle with this for a little bit until you get a hold of it. But as you can see there, you start middle, go left, loop around. And this is with the right joystick on your controller. If you're on Switch, I'm sure it's the right joystick as well. But you're basically going to follow that little loop-de-loop. And what I mean by you're just going to have to play and get used to it is you're going to have to get used to the movements. You're also going to have to get used to the movement speed. This is based on movement speed and movement accuracy. So as we go around, there's a thing there, you see 95 accuracy. That is the accuracy of how you're doing the actual motion. If you don't do a motion that's like that, like if you just go like this, it's not going to pitch well. You're not going to get a very good accuracy. By pitching perfect, so like say the fastball is down and then up, that 100% accuracy, that means that if you hit your down, that means you're going to basically pitch it really, really good. Now the next part of pinpoint pitching is hitting the downward motion when the pitcher is ready to release. That being said, let's look at the cutter here. Down and up. Once you got that there, boom, you know it's 100% or close to it. Then you have the downward motion of how you're going to pitch. And again, this is very specific based on if you're going from the stretch, if you're going from whatever, and it's on the pitcher depending on how long the pitcher takes to deliver. So the quicker deliveries, this is going to go down fast. You see that blue emblem on there when you're going down, and that blue emblem tells you as soon as it gets close to the bottom, it's telling you to push down. Now once you get better at hitting it, boom, you notice your accuracy gets a little higher. You notice the ball gets a little more accurate when you throw it. Now the better and closer you get at that, the better and closer the pitcher is. That's what I'm saying. The actual pinpoint pitching, you can basically dot stuff all game long if you're really, really good at pinpoint. So my suggestion for you is get the motion down, just practice and get the accuracy down, learn what pitches do what, and then you're going to get to a point where you're basically pitching and not even paying attention, and you're kind of just dotting everything because you're in such a groove. If you want to know what's going on and everything, you notice the little thing pop up at the end there after you pitch. It tells you what you did, tells you the accuracy, it tells you how you did as far as early or late, and then it'll tell you where you did finishing. So if you're perfect at finishing, as you can see there, I was 2 degrees to the left, so it wasn't a perfect finish. Also, if you're early or late on the downward action, it will tell you right there I was 0.000 seconds, so it was perfect basically. And there I was a little early by 0.05 seconds. So just kind of learn those and then learn, oh, well, I was too early. I need to be a little slower. I was too late. I need to quick up on the action down. But that's where you're going to learn how you're actually pitching once you're kind of into it. There a little bit early. Looks like I was 2 degrees to the right, so it wasn't a perfect pitch. Same thing there. I was 8 degrees to the left. Now, as you're moving the pinpoint around the zone, you're going to have a different finish. So if I pitch in the middle here, I'm just going to go strictly down. That's all I'm going to do. Now, if I pitch to the right here, if I pitch to the far right, you notice the blue thing at the bottom, the accuracy is moving. So as you're moving, it's moving. So if I pitch outside, you're going to notice it's outside now. So I have to go down to the right, not straight down, otherwise you're going to miss it. So this one's a little bit to the right. So now if we go to the outside right and you pitch down, you will not get a very accurate pitch. But if you want to pitch to the right side, out here, you're going to go out with it instead of down. You're going to get a more accurate pitch. And that's basically useful for when like you're throwing curveballs like down and in. Because if you go down, straight down, it's going to go over the middle. Whereas if you go right to left based on it, if you hit it, it's going to go more to the left and right where you wanted it. So pinpoint pitching is a little confusing, and I could do a whole 30-minute video on pinpoint pitching. But the biggest thing is just to know the basics of it, learn it, and then just practice. If you sit here for an hour and practice this, at the end of it, you'll be much, much better. And then you could start using different players. You could start using lefties. You could start using submarine throwers. Everyone's different, so you're going to have to kind of learn it based on your player. But the actual you pitching and the actual pitch types and everything are all the same. It's all about just timing once you learn the basics. So definitely learn the basics of pinpoint pitching, because you will get better results as far as hits. They won't get as much solid contact. That's not saying that they won't ever crush it and hit it for a home run. They will, even on a perfect pitch, they'll still hit home runs. But you are dramatically making it better for yourself compared to throwing other ways, just because you have more accuracy with the pinpoint pitching. Once you get really good at it, you'll be able to basically dot pitches as you want. So I hope this video helped you guys get better at pitching, and this is just the basics. I might have a video later on about how you should throw pitches, where you should throw them, what you should look for, and what counts. But this is just the basics of learning to pitch. My suggestion is to run pinpoint pitching. Just learn it. It's the best thing in the game. It honestly took me about, I would say, 2 total days of playing to get good at pinpoint. Now it's just a second thought of pitching. Like, I rarely pitch a bad ball on purpose or on accident. It's more like I just wasn't paying attention type of thing. So my suggestion is learn pinpoint. If you're playing offline, make sure you hit that to dynamic difficulty, so that as you're learning and pitching and getting better, that difficulty is raising, so it's getting harder and harder for you to pitch. That's the way to go there. If you're just learning it, go to practice mode and learn to pitch. There is the best way to learning to pitch. Once you're ready for it, go online. Definitely play the CPU first online. Try to get used to it there, and then go ahead and play some ranked, because yeah, it's the best way to pitch is pinpoint. So you better learn it now, because you're going to get the best results from it. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Also, feel free to hit that red subscribe button, because we'll have plenty of more MLB 22 content coming out very soon. I already created a hitting one for this as well, so if you're wondering about hitting, make sure you go to my channel and check that video out as well. These both will be released on the same day, so you'll get the hitting and the pitching content on the same day of learning. So if you have any questions, comment them down below. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll do my best to answer those, and I will see you guys in the next video. Till next time, Slacker out.